My name is Amber Ramos, and I'm doing Goodnight, Siagon by Billy Joel. We met as soulmates on Paris Island. We left as inmates from an asylum. And we were sharp as knives. And we were so gung-ho to lay down our lives. We came in plastic as numbered corpses, and we left as tameless horses. We had no home fronts, we had no soft soap. They sent us Playboy, and they gave us Bob Hope. We dug in deep and shot on sight, and prayed to Jesus Christ with all of our might. We had no cameras to shoot the landscape. We passed the hash pipe, and we played our Doors tapes. And it was dark, so dark at night, that we held on to each other like brother to brother, and promised our mothers we'd write. And we would all go down together. We said we'd all go down together. Yes, we'd all go down together. Remember Charlie? Remember Baker? They left their childhood on every acre. And who was wrong and who was right didn't matter in the thick of the fight. We held the day and they held the night, and the night seemed to last as long as 6 weeks on Paris Island. They were sharp as knives. They heard the hum of our motors, and they counted our rotors, and waited for us to arrive. And we would all go down together. We said we'd all go down together. Yes, we'd all go down together. A long overlooked aspect of Vietnam is the way it affected America's women. The Red Cross worker, the nurse, and the mother. Letters Home from Vietnam by 3 women. Dear Daryl, you asked about Vietnam, so I'll tell you. I love it here. Monday, I chatted for almost 10 minutes with the kid who had all his intestines lying in a plastic bag next to him, and so many tubes and bottles that you could hardly get close. He felt pleased with the American Red Cross, and just asked one favor, back issues of the Stars and Stripes, so he could see if any of his unit or buddies were still alive. He was lying with many bandages, and his extremities all pieced together, and his face covered with gauze and a towel-like cover. The only thing was that he could see just a little out of his right eye, but that was all he needed. Apparently, his mouth had been shattered along with everything else, because when he began to speak, you could see how much he'd been destroyed. And aside from all the blood, guts, and gore, he was alive. And when I looked him square in the face and teased him about the people, he responded so beautifully that it made me want to hug him. It's men like that who make it all worthwhile. Janie. The nurse. Dear family, at 4:16 a.m. the other day, 2 of our fellow Americans landed on the moon, and at that precise moment, the polite Air Force Base, in the sheer joy and wonder of it, sent up a whole sky full of flares, red, white, and green. It was as if they were daring the surrounding North Vietnamese army try to tackle such a great nation. And as we watched from the emergency room door, we could hardly speak. The pride in our country filled us to the point that some had tears in their eyes. It hurts so much sometimes to see the paper full of demonstrators, especially people burning the flag. Fight fire with fire, we ask. Display the flag, Mom and Dad, and ask your friends to do the same. It means so much to us to know that we are supported, to know that not everyone thinks we're making a mistake by being here. And the worst of it is the children, little babies, being brutally maimed and killed. They never hurt anyone. And Papa, he comes in with 3 babies, 1 dead and 2 covered in frag wounds. And through it all, you feel something's missing. There, you put your finger on it. There's not a sound from them. The children don't cry from pain, and the parents don't cry from sorrow. the stoic, the mother. Dear Bill, today is February 13th, 1984. I came back to this black wall to see you and to touch your name. And as I do, I wonder if anyone ever stops to realize that next to your name on this black wall is your mother's heart, broken 15 years ago today when you lost your life in Vietnam. And until the day I die, I will think of you as you laughed at me, even when I was very mad at you. And the next thing I knew, we were laughing together. I talked by phone the other day to a friend of yours from Michigan who spent the last Christmas and the last few days of your life with you. Jim told me how you died, for he was there, and he saw the helicopter crash, how the blades went through you, and the chopper hit you, and how you were alive for about half an hour, but were unconscious, therefore did not suffer. Death came to so many of you. I know that after Jim talked to me, he must have relived it all. So, before I hung up the phone, I told him I loved him. Loved him for being there when you died, and loved him for being your close friend. How lucky you were to have had him as a friend, and how lucky he was to have had you. They tell me that these letters I write to you and leave at this memorial are waking others up to the fact that there is still much pain after all these years from the Vietnam War. But I know this, I would rather have had you for 21 years and all the pain that goes with losing you than to have never had you at all. Mom. Thank you.